Well, everybody, now we know the exact numbers in terms of profit and profit margins and what films made the top 10 biggest box office earnings for the year of 2022. Now, of course, this is pure profit. What was the most profitable for the studios? So let's get to it. Take a guess at what number one is before I reveal it. So I want to stress again that people need to understand there is a difference between how much you make in the box office and what your profit is. They don't keep everything from the actual box office, and bigger cost of production obviously offset the end result, and of course, how much the theaters take, and various other factors. So, this is going by pure net profit. So, number 10 is surprise, surprise, and I'm genuinely surprised Smile. Smile was a film I had no interest in, and my wife really wanted to see it because she loves schlocky horror. She was disappointed by the film because it wasn't schlock horror. I was genuinely surprised by it, and one of my favorite films of last year because it was nothing that I expected. And it's nice to see it on here, and the film made a net profit of 101 million. At number 9, we have Thor Love and Thunder, which ended up making a profit of 103 million. Now, again, this is one of the more expensive MCU films in the top 5, but it was able to make a decent profit. So, despite me not being a big fan, despite people claiming that the film is an absolute bomb, evidence shows it is not. At number 8, we got Puss in Boots: The Last Wish with 120 million in profit. That's all I could say about it because I haven't seen a single Shrek film or Shrek related film since half of the first Shrek film. So, that's my contribution to that franchise. At number 7, we have The Batman coming in with 177 million, which is pretty great. I mean, just think about it. This film had a lot going up against it. A lot of people were ready to just dismiss it and hate on it. It proved a lot of people wrong, and it's a very profitable film compared to most DC films in the last decade. At number 6, we have Jurassic World Dominion, the film where dinosaurs take a backseat to a bunch of cicada bugs, and Chris Pratt holds his hand up to hold off a T-Rex. The film comes in with a net profit of 229.7 million, an absolute juggernaut for this franchise. And since Universal doesn't have much more from its IPs, expect more Jurassic whatever. At number 5, we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which profited with 259 million. Now, I want to point something out. At 6th place, we of course had Jurassic World, which I just talked about, which made 1 billion at the box office, but a profit of 229.7. Wakanda Forever made 859 million, but a bigger profit, thus meaning that more was spent on the previous film, but the next film, aka Wakanda Forever, made more. And of course, the Batman, if you look at that, that only made 770 million, but pulled in 177 in profit because the budget was cheaper. That's why some of these numbers are like this. Either way, though, an MCU film in top 5, not really unexpected. Another film from the MCU makes it into the top 5. Now, how could this film have ended up here if it was a bomb like the internet claimed? Well, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness made $284 million in profit. Now, once again, this film had a much smaller budget compared to some of the other films. It made 955 million, and the profit was quite huge. So this film, a huge success and a win for Disney, despite what the internet has said. Because for some reason, every film has to make over $1 billion in the eyes of people online, but The Batman, Wakanda Forever, Smile, and so forth show you that this clearly isn't true. At number 3, we got Minions: The Rise of Gru. All I know about this film is that kids wore suits to the film, so that's it. But the film made $382 million in profit. Over at number 2, we have Top Gun: Maverick with a profit of 391.1 million, and the film in its box office run made 1.49 billion, so that huge profit margin makes a whole lot of sense. Obviously, this film had a lot of hype behind it, coming in like 30 years after the first one. There's been a rumored sequel ever since then. It's starring Tom Cruise. It's all about the military and planes. There you go. It's, I guess, a recipe for success. And now we come down to number 1. Guess what it is? Have you guessed yet? Have you really thought about this hard? Because if you haven't, if you don't know what it is, got some bad news for you. Because The Mouse ends up getting the number one film. With 2.32 billion in box office, the film made a profit of 531.7 million. So for a film that was expected to bomb with less than 500 million, according to internet, box office and internet people, it made that much in profit, in pure profit. So pretty successful here for Avatar 2, which honestly, there was a lot of doubt whether it could pull anything like this off, but it did. So there you go, everybody. The top 10 films. Let me know if anything surprised you. For me, it's definitely Smile. I did not even imagine that would make top 10, but seeing the list, all right, go little indie horror film.